Buenos dias, Gunners Collective TV. Back at it, you already know. Like a motherfucking smack addict. Bye. In a menudo style in direct fashion, we're going to get straight into the content of the day. But before we do, let's hit that like and subscribe button. Ding! Put your notification bell on all, so that way you're directing the direction of the dope content I'm kicking. And I highly appreciate all the support, man. We're going up on this channel, and it's all because of you. And for that, I can say I'm very humbled, and I'm very much appreciative, man. I know I couldn't do this without you, so gracias. So, Swifty Blue, right? How does Dub say it? New video. Swifty Blue. What happened? I thought everything was good in the hood. Wasn't he just riding around with Dorito Ranas? Him and Chito were just cruising around just the other day, and Swifty was talking that high power que la chingada. That vato was going off. He was NK all day to the day he dies. He was creeping around the hood with a Mini Mac 10 AR-15, right? He was doing his thing. He was trying to impress Chito. That's understandable. I seen him doing Máquina or Rutina, Rutina in the backyard with Cholo Juan and a couple other individuals that looked like they needed to do Rutina, right? Swifty was back there getting it. I thought, hey, for sure Swifty got the pass. You know, Swifty was back. He was back in the good graces of the southern side, not the other side, right? And then after all that, after going on No Jumper and hugging it out with Compa Raider, after cruising around with Chito and fucking damn near licking on his earlobe, after fucking busting down with the Mexican Crip Mac, after all these different things he did that I thought he was back in the good graces, he decides to double back and drop a diss track. Maybe, just maybe, the way he acted, and this is just my theory, right? Maybe the way he conducted himself or the way that Rico Too Smooth exposed him, you know, his text messages and his audio, man, of him saying, you know, that he didn't have no problem with the Northerners and that he was trying to unify and keep it cool and all that. Maybe that affected his standings in the movement. Maybe they're like, fuck you, bro. We gave you a chance and here you go, fraternizing with the enemy, trying to be cool, right? You ain't NK all day. If anything, you're cool guy all day, right? So whatever the case may be, he decided to go in on Lefty Gunplay, King Little G, and Chito Ranas, and I think another rapper, right? Travi G. Now here's my thing. First of all, let's talk about King Little G. That vato's been out the way, man. That vato's been making power moves, wearing shower shoes, doing his thing. I haven't heard King Little G on the internet for a minute besides music. That vato's in his own lane. He's in the fast lane, pedal to the flow main like fucking Neo, right? Doing his thing. Why is it that he gets brought up always in a derogatory way? Damn, he's hated on, man. Hey, I understand King Little G. That's what vatos do. They envy, so they hate, right? But King Little G's been out the way. He hasn't mentioned Swifty's name. He hasn't said anything about Swifty's shenanigans or what Swifty's been doing. And this is what I don't understand. It was that whole King Little G situation, the slapping that happened at the concert, the disrespect of the 18 streeters, when Swifty was pulling up on people in neighborhoods trying to check them and doing tattoo checks. It was that situation right there that put him in the situation where he was no longer able to function in his own neighborhood or in them LA streets or, you know, do any of that. You know, it was that was the catalyst. So why would he bring that back up if everything was good? Why would he decide now to double back, to do a Chicano U-turn and fuck with the same dude who basically he failed trying to fuck with the first time? Obviously, King Little G has more respect than Swifty Blue because Swifty Blue got put in a tricky situation where he was getting moved on in the county. He was getting beat up on the court at a court on the steps. Just a lot of shit. People were going in. He was getting hit in the head with Pepsi bottles and water thrown in his face in Washington. There was just a lot of people on his head. You know, for a while he was hanging out in Texas, Arizona. You know, he wiggled. He got the fuck up out of Califas, right? And then when he comes back and he's embraced and everything's good, he fucks up again. He needs to leave King Little G alone. King Little G doesn't strike me as the type of individual that goes back and forth on the internet or wants to be a part of that, man. He's just a vato doing his thing with his familia and making money. And I respect that about him, right? So let's talk about Lefty Gunplay. Swifty, Lefty don't give a fuck about what you got going on, brother. That's the truth. Lefty's in his zone. He's trying to make $150 Because if it ain't about chulada, it ain't about nada, right? That vato's making money. He's touring. He's doing his thing. He's with OTR, right? And I think Swifty is jealous of him. Because before Chito got out, before Lefty hit the scene, he got out. It was all Swifty's. It was his playground. He was running the yard, right? He was the man. And then he started to mess up. He got into the beef with King Little G. He started to disrespect people on the internet. He started to play into the hate, right? And these guys got out. And I know when Chito got out, man, they were cool. I'm not going to lie, Swifty kind of put him on, man. You know, he kind of put Chito on. And everybody thought it was good. He was doing the OTR thing. And I think because he got dropped from that label for whatever reason, he got kicked to the curbalization, that he's upset that Lefty is doing everything that he thought he was going to do with that record label. But here's the realness in it. It ain't for everyone, homie. Right? Sometimes you make your bed, you have to lie in it. Sometimes the moves that you make fuck your program up. And that whole disrespect with King Little G and that whole get down with Chito and all that, man, all it did was cause a wreck in Swifty's life. And no one gave a fuck about him. In fact, everyone was calling him Swifty Blue. And then he did the, you got to check into him. He was running LA and he just said too much and did too much, man. I gave him the benefit of the doubt a gang of times. But at the end of the day, if you keep fucking up, you're going to keep getting the same results, bro. You know, for a while there, he damn near went Christian on us. He was doing feel good music. And I will say this, Swifty does surprise me sometimes, just like he did the other day, going to give money to that family of that kid that got slapped and just doing things like that. The Vato has a good heart. He has saggy chichis, but he has a good heart, right? At the same time. So you can't be mad at it. But I think he's jealous of Lefty because Lefty Gunplay is doing every single thing that he thought he was supposed to do. He thought he was going to be the man in OTR and control that record label and be their number one. And for a second he was. Until the Vatos realized that, man, he was just too much trouble. He wasn't worth the headache. And so they kicked his ass to the fucking, go sell your CDs at that Ramate, right? Go fucking do concerts at the Panda Express fucking drive-thru. Because what they have going on, it was just too major for what he was capable of doing. Now, I won't lie, man. Swifty Blue's talented. He could rap. He got the little swag to rap, the charisma, all that, man. But he's one of those guys. He's one of those homies. And I'll say this. I've had a lot in my hood like that they adapt to wherever they're at. And they'll talk shit about this homeboy when they're with this homeboy. And then they'll talk shit about that homeboy when they're that homeboy. And you got to understand, everything is seen on social media now. You can't hide shit. You know, case in point, trying to, go behind the scenes and get at Rico Too Smooth and mix, and express the peace efforts and say it's all good and this and that. And it was a cold situation. The Vato fucking put it out there on you because you disrespected them. Because you disrespected the Northeast, so the Norteños doubled back, right? They keep doing that. They keep doing that, man. And you got to understand, Vatos can get messy and they can play tricky too. You know, especially when they're allowed to go on social media now and do their thing. They're going to do that. So that kind of, I think that might be the situation he's in now where Vatos are like, damn, bro, you made us look bad, homie. You're a knack. So when it comes to Lefty, he went in on Lefty in a diss album. You know, he went in on all these guys, but he went in on Lefty because he's jealous of Lefty. Let's just be real. He sees everything that Lefty is doing, the moves he's making, and because OTR Records is behind him righteously, right? He's just mad. He's mad because he can't be a part of that. You know, Chito Ranas. I thought, I'd seen when Chito was going off on Lefty, or on Swifty, excuse me, prior to them fucking clicking up and doing the Dorito challenge, right? He was definitely in on him. Him and Compa Raider made that song Swifty Blue or whatever. And they were going in on Swifty pretty hard, almost harsh, right? And then, of course, they were riding around and Swifty was all hype, man. That vato was fucking, like he didn't know how to act. And he was talking about Norteños this and Buster and NK and all that, right? And you could see Chito, man, was just smiling and laughing. And he was thinking, this Soca, right? He'll believe everything. Here. And Swifty was, what's that? It's a super straw. Suck it up, Soca, right? He was doing everything he could do to impress Chito and to be disrespectful towards the Northerners, right? When he knew deep down inside, he ain't that. That ain't him. Really, he wants to be cool with the Norteños. He really wants to be part of the winning team. He really wants to be in the middle. He wants to be part of the brown team, right? But you can't play both sides, homie. You got to stick to your opinion and be real. You can't be cool behind the scenes and tell dudes, hey, man, I respect you, man. We respect you. And then turn around and do a video the next day talking about NK. Shit doesn't work like that, right? I mean, you can say whatever you want to say, but it fucks up your credibility, especially amongst your own homies, because now they don't believe you, bro. They don't think you're real. You don't really have their back. You're not a real one. You're not cut from that cloth. You're against the grain, and so they're not going to fuck with you no more. So as quick as he went back into the good graces, it seems like he's fallen out of the good graces, and now he's decided to fucking go in on him. So he went in on Chito Ranas, Dorito Rana. Right? He went in on him in this song too. He went at everyone who he feels let him down or he's against, man. And is he going to win off this situation? Nope. He ain't going to win. And I don't think Lefty's going to acknowledge it. I don't think King Little G is going to waste the time or the money or the effort to acknowledge it. And Chito don't like you, Swifty. Really, at the end of the day, Chito ain't really fucking with you like that, bro. You might have been riding around with him in the car that day with no chains on. You might have been doing all that, but you're not looked at as the big homie anymore. You're not looked at as the one who put him on. He's surpassed you. And it happens. You know, let me tell you a little story. So I have a homeboy from my neighborhood. It's funny because someone brought his name up the other day in the live. They were like, do you know this guy? And I was like, I know him well, right? He was a little homie. I did my YA thing, man. He was on the streets. He was barely coming up in the game. He was about 5-6 years younger than me. And then, so when I got out, he was like the next man up to go to YA and do his thing. And he went all out. He went balls to the wall. He went hot dua on that motherfucking ass, right? He was spitting on shit. He was in that motherfucker going crazy, throwing people off tiers and stabbing people. And he gained a reputation in the youth authority as being a fucking soldado, right? Being a crazy ass norteño. And this vato got straight out. And I didn't even see him when he got out of YA. Oh, you know what? I did. I'm lying. I seen him for a little while, and it was funny because he used to follow my fucking baby's mama around like a puppy dog. He was all hooked on my BM, right? He was so hooked on my baby's mama, and I was just like, whatever, right? He was a youngster. She wasn't acknowledging him. But he was so hooked on her that he even named his first daughter after her, right? That's crazy. And I remember, you know, so I got mad about that, and I boned one of his baby's mamas. But it was what it was. You know, that was just that street shit, hood shit. So, he ends up going to prison, and he ends up clicking up and joining Nuestra Raza and being that one, right? And I remember now he had status. Now he had surpassed his big homies. Now he had surpassed the homies from the neighborhood, and man, he let it be known. He was the big homie. He got out because that's what we used to call him, the B's back then, the bros, right? He was a big homie, and you had to acknowledge him. You had to respect his status, and he made sure that everyone respected it. And when it came to me, I respected his status within the movement, but man, you're always going to be the little homie to me. Like, it just was what it was. And I'm not going to lie, he's actually the one that pulled me in to the regiment and pulled me into function with homeboys, certain homeboys, introduced me to certain homeboys. It was all because of him. We were good friends. We didn't quite like each other, but it's hard to, I'm sure you have homeboys like that. Like, you fuck with them and shit, you lay your life on the line for them, but really, you don't like them, right? It just is what it is. But you respect them for being a homie. The moral to that story is he fell out of favor with a lot of homies because of the way he was acting. When he was around you, it was all woo, woo, woo. But behind your back, he would be on that high power shit. Yeah, I don't fuck with this guy or this or that, right? And eventually someone recognized his filth and it was exposed, man. And he found himself in a situation where he got whacked and he got put in bad standings. Now he's living his best life, man. He's grown up and he's got his own little business, and I respect it. I respect him now more than ever. And not because he fell off or because anything, because now he's taking care of his children. Now he's being the man that he should have always been. And now that I'm on man time as well, I agree. I'm like, you know what, bro? We both made a lot of mistakes. Let's leave that shit to the past and just be friends instead of homies, right? And we are that. That's cool. But I believe, you see, I don't believe Chito likes fucking Swifty Blue. Same thing, because when Swifty gets around people, he talks shit and he's influenced. And no one likes that. No one likes people that fucking will be two-faced or just adapt to their surroundings. You know, that's called the art of war, man. You know, being able to adapt to where you're at. But that doesn't mean you fucking act out of character. If you're not him, if you're really not like that, don't act like that, because someone's going to pull your card. Just like Rico Too Smooth pulled Swifty's card. He pulled that shit. He said, bro, you talk that NK shit and disrespect the Norte, but you're not him, bro. And I knew this. I knew this on a personal tip because I have a homeboy, man, that knows Swifty Blue, right? And I've never, and you know, back in the days, I used to talk my little shit and clown and shit. But really, I respected his, you know, I've never said he can't rap. I've never said he's not talented because he is. But as soon as he got pulled back in good standings and good favor just 2 weeks ago, you know, this motherfucker did exactly what he shouldn't have did. The first thing he did was run to no jumper, go on there, hug it out with Compa Raider. And, you know, you could see Compa Raider was like, he really didn't care for him, but he was like, fuck it, I'm going to do whatever I got to do to save face because the Vato's now in correct standing, so you can't disrespect. But it's funny, and I've always said this, trip out on this. It's crazy, this world we live in, right? When Swifty was not in great standings, when people were tripping on him, he was all types of pieces of shits. He was all types of knacks and J-cats and punks and socas and all that, right? And chichis and he was all that. And then as soon as he got cleared or whatever happened, right? He was getting hugged on. It was all good. He's riding around with Dorito Ranas and everything was good, right? And then now he's not good no more. You know, again, for whatever reason. But and it's all his own. It's all his demise is based off his actions. It's all on him, man. The true story is it's all on him. You know, instead of humbling himself and saying, you know what, fuck, I don't want to be in that position again. I'm going to play my cards smooth. I'm going to ride this out. I'm going to drop some good music. I'm going to do some collaborations. I'm going to try to get in the good graces of Lefty because Lefty got a hell of a buzz right now. You know, maybe I'm going to double back behind the scenes and apologize to King Little G. Hey, I'm gonna have a conversation and maybe smack it out with motherfucking Chito, man. Maybe we can catch that fade and do our thing, and then and get back to what it was, right? You know, this Vato went as far as disrespecting these guys on a diss album now because he got pushed out of the situation again. So now Lefty, he's talking about Lefty, you know, jealous. Now he's rehashing and bringing up old shit with King Little G. He don't want that smoke. That's what happened to him the first time. Almost got him smoked, right? And then he's going in on Chito. And the honest to God truth is, man, Chito ain't really fucking with that dude, right? Like that. I don't see a reason for any of these guys to drop a diss back or retaliate or say something. I think they're just going to press on and be like, bro, we're getting money, bro. You're pawning shit and you're struggling. The struggle is real, bro. You know what I'm saying? You're over there on TikTok asking for money, you know, so you can fix your transmission. Stop it, bro. Talk about, hey, send me $100 so I can do a tune-up on my 86 Honda Accord. Let it go, right? Not a chain in the world in sight. You know, the old man at that fucking Pawn Stars is over there counting feria off your chain, right? Just let it go. And it's all his demise is based upon his actions. You know, everything you do in life means something. And that's why I say, man, when you're trying to cross the line and gangbang and disrespect people, you know, you got to remember everything you've ever said in life. It will be exposed. It will be brought out. It's unfortunate, but it's the way it is. So anyways, what do you guys think about it? Have you guys heard the diss? You know, I was getting at my primo. He's a South Sider. I was like, hey, I said, you hear the diss, right? Your homeboy fucking Swifty. That ain't my homeboy, I said, right? Well, whatever. That out that the big old chichis, he fucking did a diss. He's dissing all them cats. I said, I thought it was the southern side, not the other side. Why is he going at the south? And I've noticed that there's a trend going on right now. And I'm going to be real with you guys, because I got to be uncut. The South, not the streets, not barrios. No disrespect to the sureños in the South side, man. Got a lot of respect for you, vatos. But these Southern rappers, these younger Southern rappers, it's looking real goofy, homie. It's looking real goof troop. You see all the norteño rappers, they all get along. They're all cool with each other. You know, and even the ones that aren't, that probably don't fuck with each other, you don't see them never disrespecting each other. You don't see them fucking making disses against each other. You don't never see that. When have you ever heard a norteño rapper besides like maybe Mousy and Louie Lou that didn't get along for on personal tip disrespect each other? You don't see these vatos doing that. These vatos function together, and there's a lot of unity and canalismo. And even when there isn't, they're just not gonna fucking put the other vato's name in their mouth. Because, hey, when you make a vato look bad from your section, it makes the whole section look fucking tirada, right? Straight up. So they don't do that. So it's baffling my mind to see all these Southern rappers beefing with each other. Now, I understand they don't get down like norteños. They have different things. There's a lot of hoods, barrios that don't get along or whatever. But it just, to the people right now that are watching, just not a good look, man. It looks all fucking in disarray. Like, you should be showing unity and coming together as gente and making that bread, right? That's, I don't know. Anyways, you know, you guys let me know. Do you think Swifty's still in good standings, or did they kick him out again? I think he's kicked back to the curb. Like I said, I think he's fucking selling tapes at the Ramate because that shit with Rico, that exposure of the text messages and the audio, man, was ugly. It was really, truly ugly. You know, it wouldn't have been as ugly, but when he disrespected Norteños just a week before, riding around with Chito talking about fucking NK, that really made him look bad. That running to no jumper, immediately running to Daddy Adam, right? Running. Vatos run to that Vato. Hey, I want to be part of the platform. I want to be part of the... What has Adam ever did to you? Hey, look at when and here's the cool part. When Chito was... well, not Chito, but when Lefty was... See? They're more popular than you. That's why I think about them more than I think about you. When Swifty was in bad standings, when everyone... Didn't no one want to fuck with him. He was out of state doing... People say hiding. I don't know what he was doing. Kicking it, right? Where was Adam then? Did Adam shoot you some feria? Did he help you get your transmission fixed? No. So why do you immediately run to Adam to try to get your name out there? It's not going to do nothing for you. If anything, it makes you look goofy. Anyways, he did a disrespecting all these guys. You know, I don't know who Travi G is. I've seen him on social media. I know he's a rapper, but I don't know the Vato. I've never heard his music like that, so I'm not going to even speak on what he said about him. But it seems like, you know, is this just for clout? Is he chasing clout on all these guys? Or is he really fucking just saying, fuck it, Holmes, I'm going to crash out and go in on them? Because they're all Southsiders. They're all Southerners. You know, he's going in on all his gente. Straight up. You know, I come from a different cloth, a different people. You know, same brown skin, but different mentalities. The mentality of the Norteños have always been, man, to respect each other. You know, you're only as strong as your brother. And bring everyone up, whether you like them or not. And let me tell you, there's a lot of Norteños I didn't fuck with, I didn't like personally. But it didn't matter, man. I was willing to sacrifice my life for the cause, right? And for them. I don't think Swifty's like that. I think he's willing to step on anyone's toes to get back in the game. And it's just a bunch of jealousy and envy. And again, man, when it comes to King Little G, I have not heard that Vato say anything bad about Swifty other than the truth. Chito, he's going to be like, fuck you, fool. You know what I mean? Hey, you know, they talked a lot of shit about each other. And that's the thing, man. Once a relationship is tainted and you've talked shit about each other, it can never be the same again. They could ride around all fat and sloppy however they want, disrespecting Norteños, but really, there's always going to be that, chale, Holmes, right? There's always going to be that, I don't know if I could trust you. And I don't think fucking Chito trusts Swifty, especially now that he's dissed him. He's went in on him, you know? And Lefty, I don't think he even cares. I don't think at this point he even knows how to spell Swifty. That Vato's doing his thing, getting money. He's counting money. And that's it. With that being said, on the Chmus Move with a purpose. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think it's stupid or do you think that it's all pre-planned and for clout? You know, some people were saying that to me. They were like, hey, I think he did that diss. He's still cool with these Vatos, but he's just fucking trying to make a name for himself and come back up. I don't know, man, but dissing is always going to be dissing. It's disrespectful. Thumbs up or thumbs down. Heavy's going to be the head that wears the crown. I'm going to continue to strive for what I truly believe in, and that's the betterment of all people. I hope Swifty Blue gets his shit together, because I'd hate to read about him. I'd hate to see it. You know, a talented individual that's throwing it all away for clout from strange people. Wow. It's crazy, man. Raza. Let's say a prayer for that Vato. The gun.